So, I have been um, drinking wine and listening to Lana Del Rey. I would play it right now, but there would be copyright issues. But there's no copyright issues on wine, so. So, I am editing an anthology of stories inspired by Lana Del Rey and Sylvia Plath, who are both huge muses for me. And I asked all the contributors to tell me what is their favorite Lana Del Rey song and Sylvia Plath poem, and also which Lana Del Rey song and Sylvia Plath poem inspired whatever story they wrote. Some did both, some did just one or the other. So I figured I should do the same. It's super hard to pick my favorite Lana song or Plath poem. It's so hard. I've been trying to. I decided to do a video I don't know, maybe half an hour ago. And during that whole time, I've been listening to certain songs, is this my favorite song? Is that my favorite song? And reading the lyrics, and it's hard. It's really hard. And there's songs that are my favorite songs, and then there's songs that inspired stories. And those were the two questions I asked people, what's your favorite, and then what actually inspired the story. And I don't have a story of my own in this anthology. Since I'm editing it, I thought that would be kind of I don't know, not cool. So I didn't do a story. But I have written stories inspired by Lana Del Rey videos. For example, my most recent published story, it's called Saint Jackie, and it's a conversation between me and the ghost of Jackie Kennedy. And I watched Lana Del Rey's national anthem video a bunch of times on repeat as I was writing it, and it really helped me just kind of get into the headspace and the vibe, along with watching Jackie O documentaries and just hearing her voice and her weird cadence. So yeah, but I don't want to go on forever, so I'm going to read my favorite Plath poem, and it's not one that inspired something. Maybe I'll do that next time. Or maybe now. I don't know. Surprise! So I guess I'll start with my favorite Plath poem, the first one that just really jumped at me. The Ariel collection is what really kind of changed me, but this is before that. And kind of reminds me of Yeats's The Stolen Child, and she was really inspired by Yeats, so that makes sense. But anyway, this is kind of calling back to siren lore and such. It's called Lorelei. It is no night to drown in, a full moon, river lapsing, black beneath bland mirror sheen. The blue water mists dropping, scrim after scrim, like fishnets, though fishermen are sleeping. The massive castle turrets, doubling themselves in a glass, all stillness, yet these shapes float up towards me, troubling the face of quiet. From the nadir they rise, their limbs ponderous. With richness, hair heavier than sculpted marble, they sing of a world more full and clear than can be. Sisters, your song bears a burden too weighty for the world's ears listening. Here in a well-steered country, under a balanced ruler, deranged by harmony, beyond the mundane order, your voices lay siege. You lodge on the pitched reefs of nightmare, promising sure harborage by day, decant from borders of hebetude from the ledge, also of high windows. Worse even than your maddening song, your silence, at the source of your ice-hearted calling. Drunkenness of the great depths, O river, I see drifting, deep in your flux of silver, those great goddesses of peace. Stone, stone, ferry me down there. This was kind of the first poem that really pulled me into her. I think because she was really conjuring those water vibes and that feeling of like, this was kind of the first poem where she started talking about suicide in a seductive way and made you think about how you love getting lost in a feeling and how the peace of death can be like that. And it was really beautiful for me seeing just how she kind of went to that dark place and was kind of using mythology and cool kind of fey water imagery and had this nice rhythm. And it's like a really symmetrical poem. And yeah, so this is my favorite poem of hers. So I'm going to read one of my favorite Lana Del Rey poems. And I think, with this antho, the Tragedy Queens stories inspired by Lana Del Rey and Sylvia Plath, published by Clash Books. Shameless plug here. And it will be on clashbooks.com before it hits Amazon. Get it sent directly from me. I will kiss it and give it magic. This is Gods and Monsters. And I don't know. I don't know if this is my favorite Lana Del Rey song. There's so many, as I said. This is like a really tight tie with Florida Kilos and Brooklyn Baby and Ride. And others, I'm sure. Shades of Cool. Like, there's just certain songs that I would find myself listening to a lot over and over again. But I think this was the first song where I really felt like she was like a kindred spirit. Partly because she mentions Jim Morrison in the song, which is really cool. And weirdly, I had a dream that I was Jim Morrison when I was like 12-ish. I was listening to The Doors a lot, which explains part of that. But it doesn't explain why I was him and the whole weird situation of the dream. And the fact that I knew that I was him, being a female. I haven't had many dreams where I'm just a guy and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm that guy. Like, I think it was more like Jim Morrison really spoke to my soul. Like, he was like the poet, shaman, rock star. Like, he brought it all together in his performance and his music and his voice and everything. Really channeling like Dionysus and stuff, which I definitely relate to. But and fun side note for anybody that has watched stuff on my channel, I did a reading of a passage from Antoine Artaud's The Theater and Its Double. And Jim Morrison was like really into that. Like he was really into the ideas in that. It's like a theater book, which is weird. It's like a theater book, but it's like all about how like people make themselves ill with their madness, kind of, and how like the Black Plague was because the Middle Ages were so spiritually bankrupt. But he really took that stuff to heart, like the kind of performance art aspect of it, and he tried to bring it to the rock show, like try to stimulate people's senses to kind of shatter that shell and make them wake up. He even yells, "Wake up," during his Hollywood Bowl performance. And the end, pretty sure he was on acid. I don't know for sure, but he was. That whole like riff he did about like mother, I wanna, and father, I wanna kill you, and la da 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 da. Anyway, here's Gods and Monsters by Lana Del Rey, and this is on the first album, or the first like popular album, the Born to Die. I almost read that one because that one did inspire a character and a story, but I'll read this one first. In the land of gods and monsters, I was an angel, living in the Garden of Eden, screwed up, scared, doing anything that I needed, shining like a fiery beacon. You've got that medicine I need, fame, liquor, love, give it to me slowly. Put your hands on my waist, do it softly. Me and God, we don't get along, so now I sing. No one's gonna take my soul away, living like Jim Morrison, headed towards a fucked up holiday. Motel sprees, and I'm singing. Fuck yeah, give it to me. This is heaven, what I truly want. It's innocence lost. Innocence lost. In the land of gods and monsters, I was an angel, looking to get fucked hard, like a groupie incognito, posing as a real singer. Life imitates art. You got that medicine I need. Dope. Shoot it up straight to the heart, please. I don't really want to know what's good for me. God's dead, I said. Maybe that's all right with me. No one's gonna take my soul away. Living like Jim Morrison, headed towards a fucked up holiday. Motel sprees, and I'm singing. Fuck yeah, give it to me. This is heaven, what I truly want. It's innocence lost. Innocence lost. When you talk like a movie and you're making me crazy, 'cause life imitates art. If I get a little prettier, can I be your baby? You tell me life isn't that hard. No one's gonna take my soul away. I'm living like Jim Morrison, headed towards a fucked up holiday. Motel, sprees, and I'm singing. Fuck yeah, give it to me. This is heaven, what I truly want. It's innocence lost. Innocence lost. I think I'll do another video where I read Stings and Florida Kilos. So I'm back.